What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Week 15 semifinals. I'm a little bit late, but I am here. If you have questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. I'm pulling some stuff up. What up, Nate? If you're wondering why I'm late, you can blame it on Nate. Some old traditional breakfast from a spot that is in the town we grew up in, so Nate wakes up this morning and decides, let's go to Charger House, and I decided I would be late to the stream. I am pulling up some stuff right now. Devontae Parker or Cooper Kupp. Parker's playing, huh? One second here, Benedict. I'm probably going Cooper Kupp either way. I trust the player more, even though it hasn't been blowing up recently. I just think that game could shoot out, and I trust Cooper Kupp more than I do Devontae Parker, so I probably go with Cooper Kupp in that scenario. Gosh darn it. What's going on, Nate? If you have any start-sit questions, whatever, throw them in the chat. I don't have anything in general to speak on. I will look through some stuff here, and if there's anything that sticks out, I will mention it. It does look like Devontae Parker is going to play for those of you that have him. So games I like for the day, sneaky games. We obviously know some of them that could shoot out and who should be scoring some points, but there's always some sneaky ones on the table. I do like that Rams and Cowboys game for a shootout. Cowboys have not been playing very well on defense, and Rams offense has been a little bit better over the last few weeks. So I look for them to put up some points, and then maybe similar to last week, and the last 2 weeks, Dak puts up some points in garbage time if they can't keep up early in the game. Isaiah says, pick 2 out of these, please. Parker versus the Giants, Julio versus San Francisco, Mostert versus Atlanta, Edelman at Cincy. I think I'd just stick with the 2 most consistent players out of this and go with Julio and Edelman. We know they're both probably going to get targets, 8 to 10 targets. Edelman, high touchdown upside versus Cincy. Only problem is they might not be throwing a lot, but those are the 2 guys that I trust the most out of that group, so I'm probably playing Julio and Edelman. 8-point bonus at 100 yards rushing or receiving. Yeah, I think it's hard for Mostert to get to that 100 mark. Yeah, I'd probably go with Edelman and Julio. Eckler or Melvin Gordon? That's a tough one. I probably go Eckler though. He's been doing a lot with the minimal touches that he's been getting. What I think last week, at one point he had 11 touches and 170 yards or something, just ridiculous. But can't argue what this dude is doing right now. This whole season he's been very good, very good. Yeah, Isaiah, I think it's hard for Mostert to get you that bonus because of the other running backs that are in that backfield. So even though he might be great on a per touch basis, that 8 point bonus is huge. Knowing that 8 point bonus is there, I might lean Parker over Edelman um, because of that. So, you know, Julio has a good chance for that 100 bonus. We know that. San Francisco, we saw last week, they got torched by Breeze, and I believe Sherman's out. So, Julio versus San Francisco doesn't scare me like it would have 2 weeks ago. Um, so I might go Parker and Julio there. Slayton or Fuller? Man, this one's hard. Slayton feels like a trap to me. It's versus the Dolphins, though. Um, but still, Eli, like, I don't feel like Slayton's a good fit for Eli. This could be the week that it's uh, Tate and Shepard. But my eyes. Let me see here. I'd probably go Slayton just because I like that matchup better than I like the Texans Fuller versus the Titans. I don't love it though. Slayton does feel like a trap, but Fuller could bust his hamstring on the first play. Mixon, Lindsey, Sony need to start two. Sony hasn't been good, but will New England's defense stop Mixon's strong end of the season finish? I'm going Mixon and Sony in that group, I think. I mean, this is the game. It's just so hard. They use so many running backs out of the backfield. Um, let's see. Man, you know what? No, I'm going Mixon and Lindsey. I'm not sitting Mixon right now. The Patriots' run defense isn't as good as it looks, but they've between their in division games, they completely shut it down during those. It's a little slanted. It's good, but it's just not as good as the ranking would show. Their whole defense isn't. The secondary is what I really don't want to attack. So I'm going Mixon and Lindsey versus the Chiefs, who are terrible against the run. But there should also be some pass catching work in there for the running backs for Denver. Is my name Rick Butts? Yes, it is. Fuller or David Montgomery at flex? I go David Montgomery. Green Bay is terrible against the run. And the first game of the year when the Bears faced them, obviously you didn't know where they were going to be, but they only ran the ball 13 times. So I think the running game is going to be a bigger part of this game, and there's some high touchdown upside there. If they don't run the ball, they need to fire their coach because Green Bay is not good against the run. My name is Rick Butts. Okay, we'll get rid of that person. I ain't got time for that. Um, let's see. Players I'm staying away from: Deontay Johnson and James Washington in that game versus the Bills tonight. Uh, Zach Pascal, if he draws, let's see if we've heard any more on T.Y. Hilton, if Hilton's going to play. If Zach Pascal's the number one and he's going to get a lot of Marshawn Lattimore, we want no part of that. At least I don't. I'm kind of doubting T.Y. Hilton plays. Amari Cooper's an odd one. He should get a lot of targets, but obviously has a tough matchup with Ramsey. That could really help Gallup a lot tonight. I'm guessing that Thielen and Diggs are going to both get some Casey Hayward in that game. So not real worried there. DJ Shark's out, right? Yep. Drop them questions. I'm hanging around as long as there's questions. If not, I'm going to call it a morning. I just wanted to make sure to jump on. If anybody had any questions, answer some of those. Just remember, take these with a grain of salt. I'm the guy in his biggest league that left 80 points on the bench last week between Drew Brees and Emmanuel Sanders. So, you know how that goes. Larry Fitz versus James Washington in standard scoring. Um, that's a tough one. I really don't like Washington's matchup, but Fitz kind of has, when you're talking non PPR, doesn't have very high of a ceiling. I guess my question would be like, how do you feel in your matchup, Ryan? Do you feel like you're pretty close, or do you feel like, the opponent's got a little bit of an edge on you? Because if I need to go with upside, you have to go with Washington, even in a bad matchup. The Bills' secondary is tough, but I don't think Larry Fitz gives us that high of a ceiling. But he's a safe play. Um, if you need to go that route. So that's what it would come down to for me. Do I need the upside? Do I need to try to take advantage in that situation, or do I need to just play it safe and let that floor play out? I have the higher projection, but it's close. Um, I man, that's a tough one, Ryan. If it's that close, and that's Well, they don't play till 8. Your other option was Larry, and he plays at 4. See, that's the nice thing, though. If it's those two, literally those two only, you're going to have an idea after the 1 o'clock games where you stand in that matchup. And then if you feel like you need to go with the upside, you can switch them out. That's the nice part about them both being 4 or later. So that's what I would do. I would look at these 1 p.m. games, see where your team's standing, see how you feel about it, and then go with either or. You know, we're probably not getting a 20-point game, and especially in standard. So we'll say, 15 points in standard. We're probably not getting out of Larry Fitz. Joseph, what's going on, buddy? Got shafted last week, had a first round bye, and lost Mike Evans and Ridley, so now I got Mike Thomas and Zach Pascal. Pascal's a tricky one for me this week, but Mike Thomas? Like, not Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas can do what 2 guys can do, so gotcha. Yeah, it always sucks. I did not have a bye, and I was down 7 points going into Monday night, and had Alshon Jeffrey, and we know how that worked out. Didn't catch a ball before he got hurt. Wentz missed him on the first play, and could have won me the match, but Alshon went out, and I don't even get to play this week. So as bad as I feel for you for losing Evans and Ridley, good luck. You're still alive. That's what matters. That Pascal matchup, though, scares me. We really wanted T.Y. Hilton to play tomorrow, but it's not sounding good. They said they're only going to play him if he's 100%. So, I don't know. You'd feel like they'd know by now. I don't know how he'd go from not 100 to 100 by tomorrow. But I mean, Pascal's still going to get the number 1 work. So hopefully, he doesn't completely blank. Yeah, that's my thing. He's definitely a dart throw versus Lattimore. If you had a safer play, I would probably, tell you the same thing I just told Ryan, and Ryan, no problem. And look for that, do you need the upside? Like, how do you feel in the rest of the matchup? But if those are the only 2 options you've got, then, you're going to have to roll with them. But the nice thing is you have Michael Thomas on the other side. So he can make up for what Pascal doesn't do if he has one of his big weeks. Which the Colts have been getting toasted here lately. So Michael Thomas should be all right. And the nice thing about those 2 is the better Michael Thomas does, then the more targets we may see for Pascal, whether we like the matchup or not. It's one of those correlation plays like in DFS. Brown or Parker? Brown. John Brown? I don't like John Brown as much this week. Man, John Brown went from, having pretty good matchups to, now he's got Minka this week. He had what's his name? Marcus Peters last week. Had a bad little stretch here, but I got to go with Parker. I mean, the Giants just got rid of another cornerback, and they were already bad in the secondary. So if he's playing, then I'm going Parker there, because he's got a decent floor with the upside. So also in a full PPR, I need some pretty brutal matchups this week. Marlon Mack, Devonta Freeman, Eckler, and Scarborough. Let's see. Eckler is in there for sure, because he's just done it every game. He gets touches. They're going to give him the ball. So Eckler's in there for sure. Now we got to go through these other nasty. Scarborough's out. Scarborough versus Tampa Bay. Scarborough does not catch the ball, and that's probably going to be our difference maker here between Devonta Freeman and Marlon Mack, right? Marlon Mack does not catch the ball very often, and Freeman can. So in a full PPR, I'm probably going with Freeman and Eckler with those bad matchups. That's probably where I'm going with it. Yeah, I think that's the way you got to go. Marlon Mack is obviously he's one of the better runners in the league, but I don't think you can start him over Freeman in a game that the Falcons should be trailing, and he should be utilized in the passing game. Fitzpatrick or Mayfield starting in a 47-point hole against Lamar Jackson, so looking for upside. Um, Man, that one's tough because the Browns get the Cardinals, but it's in Arizona. Let's see. I don't even know if Miami's on the road too. Okay, so here's my thing. What do we feel better at? Because we need a shootout for either of those quarterbacks to really go off, right? Because if the Browns get the lead, then they just give it to Chubb. If if Fitzpatrick might have to throw because they have Patrick Laird, so that might be a pro for Fitzpatrick. Um, but who do we feel puts up a better chance of putting up points? Kyler Murray or Eli Manning? But then we've got the Saquon factor, who's been struggling, but he also gets the Dolphins. So, man, that's a tough one. Bill, I think I go if we really want upside. Fitzpatrick last week only scored 15 points, but he put them in position to kick 7 field goals. So he's moving that offense. He gets a bad defense. They have a bad defense. Maybe Saquon and them they can score some points and turn this into one of them shitty team shootouts. Uh, Man, but the Cardinals defense has been a little bit better. Um, I just think Ryan Fitzpatrick has to be the one that scores the points because they don't have a running game. I probably go Ryan Fitzpatrick. Raheem Mostert or Josh Jacobs? He was just declared healthy. This is standard scoring. So we've got Jacobs versus the Jags, Mostert versus the Falcons. Uh, my problem is this 49ers backfield is kind of like the Patriots. We don't know who's going to get it. They all tend to do pretty decent per touch, but who's going to get the 15 touches? Um, Hello, TTV James over on Twitch. Math Quest, man, I'd probably go Jacobs just because he gets, like, we know he's getting the touches if he's playing. So right now I have Marlon Mack in my flex along with Eckler and Freeman. But should I bench Mack for Latavius Murray just because the Saints are favorites to win and Mack might get game scripted out? I wouldn't. We don't know what Murray's going to get. We know Mack's going to be involved in the Colts offense. I can't play Murray over him and hope that the Saints um get a lead and everything. I don't think I can go that far. In my 1 point PPR, Ryan says he has Debo, Lockett, or Kareem Hunt. Let's see. Debo versus the Falcons. Lockett versus the Panthers. and then Hunt versus the Cardinals. I think I go Debo. Lockett hasn't been as heavily utilized. It's like DK's their number one now. As much as I like Hunt, I mean Chubb's still back there. If the Cardinal or if the Browns get the lead, they're both going to get work. But I think I go Debo. Oh, 2. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. Oh wait, no, never mind. Somebody had Debo the first 2, and then the one right below. John says pick 2: Mostert, Debo, Lockett, Sutton. Checking all these matchups here, making sure I don't get mixed up looking at all these teams. Man, how do you guys, these are like good problems to have. Like, we're picking 2 starters between Mostert, Debo, Lockett, and Sutton. And I'm over here like, do I start freaking Allen Hurns or somebody else for my last spot? You guys have good problems. I don't know why I'm not trusting Mostert this week. I probably go Debo and Sutton. The popular pick for either of you guys, Ryan or John, Lockett's probably the popular pick, like if you look consensus. And I don't know. I'm not trusting Mostert this week. I feel like he's a trap. I feel like Darius Slayton's a trap. Those ones scare me. Who has more upside, White or Sony? Half PPR. Sony, because White is, typically scripted out. Excuse me, when they have the lead. Got a giant hiccup there. And I don't know that he's going to be real involved if they get a big lead. I think it'll be Sony. TTV James, I am a Chicago Bears fan. David Njoku or OJ Howard? This is one thing that I don't even know. Like, let's look. David Njoku. How involved was he in his return last week? He played last week, right? Yeah. So 3 targets, 4 yards. 1 reception. He had 6 targets in his first game. We know this whole flow chart, Cardinals versus the tight end deal. But I think I gotta go David Njoku just because OJ Howard is not any more involved. Damn, I got the old FU over on Twitch. Twitch is just, I think we're gonna be done streaming over there. Yeah, I'm looking at. Michael says he would not bench Lockett, and I'm sorry. I think he scored a total of like 15 points over the last 3 weeks. Debo's been consistent, 15 points a week, and Sutton has been consistent too. So I'm taking consistency in those situations. Because I don't know what's going to happen with, I don't know what's going to happen in that Seattle passing game. Craig, I know we had a question we were talking about Wednesday that we needed to come back to here on Sunday morning. So, what do we do? Ray, we only start one if we don't have another starter. We can't start two QBs if one of them doesn't play. But Craig, I know we had another one. Yeah, back to the Njoku, OJ Howard. OJ Howard just isn't. But without Mike Evans, does that change? That's the question. .5 PPR, pick 2, Debo, Sutton, AJ Brown, and Mixon. This probably isn't the popular pick, but Mixon's in my lineup. Even if it's versus the Patriots, I don't care. Mixon right now is in my lineup. He's one of the hottest running backs in the league right now. I don't think that the Patriots' running rush defense is as good as people think it is. I think it's a little slanted because of some of the teams that they've played. Mixon's in there. Then it comes down to Debo or Sutton for me. They've both been more consistent than A.J. Brown. And I'm not ready to trust Tannehill fully. The fantasy points have been there, but I just don't know that he's that good of an NFL quarterback. But the same could be said about Locke for Denver. Only his third start. So Debo and Mixon are probably my two out of those by process of elimination. Cousins or Ryan? Guy I'm playing has Hooper and I have Jones if that matters. I have zero problem with Sutton either. I mean, Locke's just the only. Basically, him and Debo right now come down to Garoppolo versus Locke. When somebody's that close, it's all quarterback for me. Cousins or Ryan? Okay, let me get this one in. I will get to you, Goldie, 1 second. Right now we're talking Cousins, who plays. Let's see, Vikings. Where's this game at? Oh, Vikings Chargers. Or Ryan versus the 49ers. I probably got to go Cousins here versus the Chargers. Um, Even though Breeze put up 40 on the 49ers last week, I don't know about Ryan. He's not Breeze. I probably go Cousins in that matchup. Do I actually start Carr over Rodgers? Hearns or Peterson? So Peterson's healthy, I'm assuming, if you're asking about him. And I know what league this is. I probably still start Hearns over Peterson. Eagles' run defense is tough. So that's going to be tough for the Redskins to run on the Eagles. Carr gets the Jags. We know that the Bears are going to beat up on the Packers today. So I still think you got to go Rodgers. And we know that it doesn't matter how good the Bears defense is. Rodgers plays his best football against the Bears. And I don't want to, I wouldn't want to say, yeah, I played Carr over Rodgers. I played Ryan Fitzpatrick over Drew Brees last week. And even though I feel like it was the right decision, it hurts this week. But Carr, I don't think has the upside of a Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I've got to go with Rodgers in that matchup, even though even though it's the Bears. The running backs are who I would be worried about this week. Aaron Jones and all that fun stuff. Gallup versus the Rams, Cup versus the Cowboys, Hunt versus Arizona, PPR, need to flex one. I am flexing Cooper Kupp. I just think he's the best player in the group. You said full PPR. It's hasn't been as good as it was at the beginning of the year, but I'm taking Cooper Cup in that scenario there. I do like Gallup though, and again, I like how do you guys have these? How are these your guys' issues? Like you guys have some really good rosters where you're trying to decide do I play Michael Gallup, Cooper Cup, or Kareem Hunt in my flex. So I wish you the best of luck. You must be in a pretty good spot. Just a reminder, I made a post yesterday. Thinking about getting some Roto Heat hats made. Some of the team members had, specifically Brad brought it up a while back, and then it got lost in the pile of stuff to do for a while. But he wanted some hats, so I looked into getting some fitted flex fit hats made, embroidered. Um, they'll probably be 25 to 30. I'm still waiting on my pricing. The hats are real nice though, so they're kind of expensive before I even get them embroidered. So it'd probably be 25, $30, and that's including shipping. Um, so I will have those in the store here before long. Um, if anybody is interested, let me know. Well, thank you, Pepe Cookie. I appreciate it. Man, I think Twitch is a cesspool. What other questions we got, peoples? What other questions we got? Man, Twitch is like a bunch of 8-year-olds over there, man. Yes, my last name is Butts. Are you 7? Feel like I'm in middle school again, elementary school. Jesus. Okay, who's got fantasy football questions? Somebody's got to. If not, I'm calling it a day, getting my lineup set, getting ready for day 2 of this poker tournament, and gonna have a fun Sunday. Carolina or 49ers defense? Man, I don't even know. Defense is the hard one for me because none of my leagues have defense. Um, I mean, I'm probably still going 49ers. Um, Russell Wilson doesn't turn the ball over. That's what I'm really looking for. Matt Ryan's going to throw a ton, so there's upside there for turnovers and sacks. So I'm going with 49ers there, but I will tell you that my knowledge is um, definitely definitely less than typical questions. Let's see. All right, peoples. Looks like the questions have died down as always in the Facebook group. You can tag me if you have a question leading up to game time, or hit me on Twitter at RotoHeatRick. Um, um, Wentz is in play, for sure. Um, let's see, where's that game at? I mean, Wentz is in play for sure because it's the Redskins. I just feel like the Giants have a better chance of putting up points on the Dolphins than the Redskins do on the Eagles. So I like that game for a good game script throwing throughout by both teams. So I probably go Fitzpatrick. That's just me. Plus in a bounce back from last week. Um, in a standard league. Um, Oh no, that's fine. I can't even tell which group you guys are in because it's streaming to 3 groups, but my chat literally has it just tells me Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or whatever. Um, yeah, I probably go Fitzpatrick. Um, there we go. More questions coming in. Still, where's? Oh, Benedict, thank you, sir. Thank you. Pick 2: Slayton, Mostert, Montgomery, Hunt, and Sanders. Rustin, I've told everybody earlier on, I feel like Slayton and Mostert are both traps for the week. And I don't have anything like solid behind that except for I did not like Eli and Slayton together. They did not seem like a match going into that game last week. It obviously worked out, but I feel like this could be Shepard and Tate, and if Ingram's playing just as much. Um, Green Bay is terrible against the run. They give up the 6th most points to fantasy running backs. Montgomery's been good the last 2 weeks. He just hasn't found the end zone. So I like Montgomery this week. Hunt splitting. We know that. But he's been producing. Um, man, that's a tough one. I mean, popular opinion's going to probably say Slayton and Mostert. I probably go Montgomery and Sanders. Cup, AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, pick 2 PPR. Cup and Brown for me, maybe. Let's see. No, I'm getting Sanders in there. Sanders and Cup. Man, I'm jealous of all of you because in my 2, like I do not have these hard of decisions. No problem, Rust. And I will say, popular people are going to want to play Slayton and Monster. That's going to be the popular opinion. Uh, it's hard for me to tell you to go against that, right? Because it's just a feeling that I have, and I could be wrong for sure. I'm not going to act like I can't miss on this, um, but yeah, I'm just not feeling those two. I just feel like they are traps, man. I feel like they are traps. Oh shoot! You know what? We're gonna call it a day. I gotta get a lineup into something else, so I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get that in, and I will start up a contest too, Michael. And I don't know how many we'll get, but we'll try to get her in there. Actually, what I'll do now is I'll pull up DraftKings. No problem, John. That's what I'm here for. If I can help, I can help. You guys have been these have been tough questions today because I'm feeling the opposite as a lot of people on certain players. And while that's fine if I play them, if I play guys over them, I feel fine with it. I'm fine with my decision. My thing is that I don't want to tell you guys to go against the grain, like I do. I can just tell you what I would do, and then I can live with myself if I make the decision. I don't want you guys to be pissed at me because I said go against the grain, and then it ends up that I'm wrong. Um, but I'll give you my honest opinion, and then let you do with that whatever you please. Um, oh, contest. Let's start up a $5 contest here. Um, oh, there it is. Oh, man, I'm tired. Honestly, John, I have no idea with Thielen. I have a feeling they waited for him to get healthy since he had a setback the last time. So I would have to think that he'd be playing a majority of the snaps. Create a contest. NFL Classic. 13 games. Private. You know what? We might make this one uh, public since it's so late. 5, 20, top 5, Roto Heat, week 15. Oh man, I forgot. John, I'm not playing Laird. There's no situation where I could be tempted to play Laird in a semifinal lineup. So I gotta go Slayton, even though I think he's a trap this week. I gotta go Slayton in that scenario. $55 PayPal. Continue. So yeah, I'm going Slayton Thielen out of those three for the two spots. Um, Dang it! Now I gotta start creating this contest over. 1 second. Classic. $13 games. Yes, if you guys are over on DraftKings and want in um, our weekly contest, I do normally every week. Top Roto Heat 15. This should give me the option to... Nope, can't do it that way. Gotta go private. Next. There we go. Then at least it'll resize. Add friends. Invite all. Done. Done. Michael, you should have an invite. I've made money on those $5 contests this year. So you didn't get mine. You may have got it in individual ones, but overall, I've made money in those. Any last minute questions, guys? If not, I'm going to get off here in just a minute. We do have that contest set up now. I got to go reserve my spot in the $50 single entry. Michael, the 150K red zone. One second, Mike. I'll pull it up here. It is the 150K red zone single entry, $50 entry. There's 3,400 entries in it. Only about 50 left until it fills. Freeman against the 49ers or Jamal Williams. I would go with Freeman against the 49ers because Jamal has to split. Defenses are similar. And Casey's going to catch the Freeman, Casey, you're going to catch the ball. Yeah, let me see if I can do that, Mike. Boom. I normally just type in single entry contest or single, and then it normally pops it up. But yes, I can right here. Invite Michael Vanderkoon. There, you should have an invite to that, Mike. No problem. What's up, Jamie? How you doing? Oh man, I need to wake up. Any questions? Drop them in the chat or I'm going to go. I am tired. Get ready for these games to start. And then I got poker tournament day 2. First place is probably going to be around 150 grand. So we're trying to win that. Non PPR, what are you thinking on this? Hilton, Brown, Fitz, or Watkins? Man, I don't like Brown's matchup versus Fitzpatrick. We know Fitz's ceiling's limited, especially in a non PPR. I mean, you can't wait for Hilton. I probably got to go Brown and Watkins. See, this is an actual one where you don't like whoever you put in, um, but I probably got to go Brown and Watkins there. I don't like Fitz's cap ceiling, and I don't think you can wait on Hilton playing on Monday night. That's a scary situation. Unless who can you plug in if he doesn't play? Bo Scarborough is inactive. All right. If you guys want to get at me, you can tag me in the group, but we're going to end this stream. I got to go, and we will get there. Yeah, I don't love it either, Jamie. I don't love it either. Got to run.